I was having a little fun with my SmokTech rebuildable atomizer over here, and I decided to show you what I did with it. I'm Steve Perry from SmokingTheBandwidth.com, and I am slaving over a hot atomizer to bring you the best e-cig news, views, and reviews available on the World Wide Web, and today we are double dripping. This is a SmokTech Octopus, some call it, rebuildable atomizer, and I just dual coiled it. Now what I did for this one, since it was my first one, I went with the pre-made wicks and wires. These are 1.7 ohm, so together it ohms out as a 0.8 ohm dual coil. I'll try to keep it in focus here. There you go. So as you can see, we got the coils keeping them from touching each other and the bottom air hole. And on the back side, the way we wired this one is we did the bottom atomizer like you're supposed to there, running it through the holes and then bringing it up and wrapping it around the post. The top atomizer, I just wrapped around the post, screwed the whole thing down. Now, that's way too much wick for one atomizer, so what I did, if you can see here, I cut these 4 wicks short, and then I cut the rest of them short by about 1 inch or so to be able to fit all that wick into the atomizer. But there's your dual coil SmokTech rebuildable drip atomizer, octopus, squid, whatever you want to call it. That's how we doubled it up. Now let's put the thing back together and fill it with some liquid. Alright, I got some of the Duke from Indigo Vapor here. Very nice tobacco liquid. Really impressed with this, actually. Been really enjoying it. It is a, I believe they said it's a 50-50 PG VG mix, and we're gonna soak these wicks good. And of course you can fill this with the top on it. In these wicks here, I've put in an amount of liquid that would typically flood this thing, and with this much wicking it does fine. So we got the wicks good and wet. Just slide them into the cone. Be careful not to push the 2 atomizers together, and spin it around to line up our air hole. Well, where did it go? I had it a second ago. There it is. And it should be ready to go, but I'm not just going to fire it on the mechanical. Let's throw this thing on the Lambo and make sure we didn't put the squeeze. You want to be careful with these running 2 coils on it, because there is not much room in that thing. You can use an ohm meter, of course. We're going to use a mechanical, and here we go. Or the Lambo, I mean. 0.8 ohms if I can get the light off of it. So it's a 0.8 ohm dual coil dripping atomizer. I should have test fired it on here too. I did all that when I built it, and it's firing. Alright, now we're going to see how it vapes. Let's give it a hit. Like a freaking freight train. The vapor production, flavor, throat hit, everything, this thing is incredible. Now of course this isn't going to fire on any of your Z-Max, any vape, any of those. You're going to have, like I said, I was surprised. This will fire. Let me show you again, because I did a little video on this before, but that atomizer for some reason was showing higher on the ohms. But this is at a 0.8 ohm atomizer on the Lambo 4.0 lava tube. So you can see a little less vapor. The amp limit gets you, cuts it down. I got it set. I've only got it set at 4 volts, but it's not vaping nearly as hard as it is on this mechanical SmokTech telescope we got here. But this is a beautiful vape. Now, unfortunately, being a trucker, I can't vape and fill this thing going down the road. But I wish I could. And this almost, even though these aren't set up for it, this almost makes me want to get a bottom feeder and just put a, you know, either find a drip atomizer for a bottom feeder or a rebuildable atomizer for a bottom feeder. But this is what I'll be vaping when I'm stopped. This is nice. Now I'm thinking though, if you were to build it yourself, which I will with the next one, I would go ahead and take the wicks and make them twice as long and then wrap one around to the other and basically make like an S pattern with the wick and bring it back into the other one. And that way you could basically just run 2 like 3mm wicks. They're a little thicker. You could just run 2 of them and just S them and bring them out long like that to where that part will wrap around and then come back and go into the other atomizer and then leave a tail that way. And you could just run 2 wicks and you'd have plenty of room to get everything put back together. But anyhow, SmokTech rebuildable dripping atomizer, dual coil, 0.8 ohm. That's how it's done.